Hello. So, it has been a while since I've uploaded, just a little bit. Long story short, I've just been really busy and kind of adjusting to the college life. But yeah, I'm back and I finally have a good space to film in that I can film in correctly and up to my own standards. It is kind of a dinky setup, but I can definitely make it work, and honestly, just having the space alone is good enough. So I'm very excited to film this video for you. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I set up my weekly planners and just kind of giving you the rundown of my system with it too. I don't really have anything else to say. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is my planner that I have used for years. It's a MUJI weekly monthly planner and I absolutely love the simple layout with it. It does have its pros and cons, but I do continuously use it every year. This is what my weeklies usually look like. Lots of color, no blank spaces because I absolutely hate having a lot of open space. My spreads have totally changed versus when I started using these a few years ago, so I've definitely had some experience with these planners. So I got a blank week to work on here. I always start with a lot of pictures that I accumulate and print out with Google Docs, and then I either use scissors or, if I feel like having super straight lines, a paper trim or two. This involves a lot of cutting and trimming for me, and sometimes even so much I get a little bruise or rash on my skin just from cutting so much. But does that really stop me? Not really. So I continue on. Now that I have all my pictures cut out all nice and pretty, it is time to figure out where I want them. I really try to plan before I start gluing stuff down, just because I've had some instances where I totally rip the pages off, so I try not to repeat that. I of course use my one and only Tombow permanent adhesive. I recommend you stick to this and not the temporary adhesive just because it is barely sticky. I get it's temporary, but it's like 2 seconds temporary, so not really worth your money. Before I start, I take a picture just because my memory is really terrible and I want to remember remotely where I placed everything. So I take a picture just in case because sometimes layering does get really complicated. Another thing I have found super useful recently is placing pictures down with tweezers. I bought these ones after I lost my other tweezers, and I have found putting pictures down so much easier ever since I started using them. I find it helps my images line up a little more accurately when I place them down and get them lined just right on the grid. It sounds like a stupid thing to use, but it does really work. I also use paint swatches all the time because they are basically like free cardstock. I either get single swatches or pull the ones just from these big books that are filled with them. Before everyone gets triggered, no, I am not encouraging you to steal from hardware stores. But if you honestly go ask an employee from a Home Depot or something, they do not care. But if you are taking an abundance of them, make sure you just ask so you're not getting a weird look from the employees. So anyways, once I give this side some flair with washi tape, I do it on the planning side as well because I can't really fit images as it takes up too much space, so I stick with tape and stickers. Speaking of stickers, here are the ones I chose to use today. I always use ones from small businesses, so I'll be sure to link the shops and Instagram pages down below. This is another way these tweezers prove really useful. It makes grabbing and placing the stickers a lot easier. They are especially amazing for those really tiny deco stickers, so you can actually see where you're putting them on the paper. Next, it is time to find the color of marker I want to use. I always end up with leftover scrap paper, so I swatch a few colors, compare it with what I've created, and choose what looks best with it. As I've said, I don't like blank space, so recently I started putting these weekly reminders in the corners so I have a good look at what's gonna hit me like a truck this week. I am a college student, so I found these tiny calendars really helpful for project due dates or any big events that day, and sometimes I just need a reminder that this day will be a work day. I overlay the calendar with a Uniball Signo in white. Hands down, the best white pen I have ever owned. If you're looking for a great white pen, this is definitely the one. Then I just fill out the big events for this week, which for this one, it's a reminder of what classes I start because it is a new semester. I also always wind up with these weird, awkward gaps, so I add little doodles, usually little stars and sparkles. This is something I've done for years, and it's just a cute little addition to kind of finish it off. Moving back to the planner side, I add a title for whatever month it is and decorate with more doodles. To write my task for the week, I use Pentel Energels in 0.5. I know I totally ripped on these in my reviewing all my stationery video, but I got a pack that actually works this time and I did fall in love with them. And to write my big events for that day, I use a Pentel sign pen. I used to make big events like project due dates or class consults in smaller writing, just a different color from my task pen, but I found that I missed these things a little more than I should have, so now I make them big and prominent. I find that this also makes it look really pretty too, and it just makes me enjoy looking back at my planners because it has some definition and it's not just a huge blob of black ink and tasks. So if you want a little bit of spice added to your weekly planners while also being functional, try experimenting with different colors and titles. It's definitely changed my planner a lot, and it might for you too. I marked my tasks with zig dot pens to give my spreads more color on this side. I'm just pre-dotting them so they're set for the week. Any semi-important task I mark using the fine side of this pen, and it's for the tasks that I absolutely cannot miss during the week. And for any regular tasks, like to work on a certain project, I use my Energel pen. I top this all off with even more doodles for spots that I know will stay blank. And with that, this is my fully finished setup for the week. This planner is specifically for school. Any of my personal planning I do using Notion. If you guys want a Notion tour, I would absolutely love to film one, so comment down below and let me know if you're interested so I can show you my sweet setup. This will eventually look like the previous week, but this is all you're gonna see today since I plan daily. You can always see my finished planners on my Instagram, Bujas, if you do want to check them out. Before I go, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video and supporting me and my channel. I know I have just literally been ripped off the face of the earth for a little bit, so I'm really happy and thankful that I have those who stick around no matter how long I've been gone. But from now on, I should be regularly uploading at least every 2 weeks. You can know exactly when I upload by hitting the notification bell. But yeah, I am very excited to be creating again and actually have a studio to film it in. So that is all, and I will see you next upload.